Yeah, guys, so today I want to talk to you about what is the actual cost to build in the Gambia 2025. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this video based on data that I have gotten from other people who build their houses and from our experience as well, even though we did not build bungalow style. So I'm talking about bungalow style, 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, yeah. And this is without the markups. This is if you are going to do it yourself and you're not going to hire a contractor. So you know how to build a house, you know what are the items that you're supposed to buy, you know how they're supposed to be laid in the foundation, even with a floor plan, because a lot of people will have a floor plan but they cannot read the floor plan. They don't know exactly where what is, how to get the square meters of the house. A lot of people don't know that. So this is only for you if you know how to measure your square meters, and know all of the items that you're going to buy and how things are supposed to be according to the floor plan and the other plan that you have, roofing plan, all these things. Yes, so you have that skill set, right? For people who don't have this skill set, unfortunately, you're going to have to work with a contractor. You're going to have to work with a contractor, or you're going to need to hire a project manager to help you get your ideal dream home out into reality. So if that's something that you're interested in, remember to visit our website, buildwiththesmiths.com, www.buildwiththesmiths.com. Okay. So back in the days, let's start from 2020, right? When we came to the Gambia, building in the Gambia was a little bit more cheaper than it is right now. Right now, the cost of building in Gambia has less, more than say double, triple, because back then I think a bag of cement was selling for $350, $390 some places, yeah. But right now, a bag of cement, it depends on where you're going, it's $525, $470. It depends on where you go. As cement become more affordable, available, maybe the price will come down, but it will not go below $400. I can assure you that. Actually, I know it will not go below $475, $450 if you're buying from the company. Yes, I know. And right now it's per order at the company. Also, one of the most expensive part of building is finishings. Roofing, windows, doors, lightings, plumbings, all of these things, finishings. Those are the most expensive part of building. Yeah? And every year these things increase in prices as well. I cannot say the prices and finishings that time because I was not building at the time, so I cannot say. But what I do know is that it was cheaper that time, but right now it's more expensive. Okay, so if you're going to build by yourself with your own hands, nobody else, maybe you hire some boys off the streets, try to give them a job in the community. If you're going to do that, then you basically can build with less money. Yes, you possibly can build with 2 million, 2.5 million, a nice standard 3-bedroom house. That is what I have to say. I believe you can do it. If you can do it yourself, if you can put your roof yourself, if you can do your tiling yourself, if you can do your painting yourself, you just hire a laborer, somebody to bring the cement or mix the cement and bring the cement, somebody to hold the wood and put it where it needs to go, help you move things around. I think you can build a house $2.5 to $2 million is standard house, not luxury house. Don't get me wrong. Standard house, yeah. What I mean by standard house, I mean a house that is not a luxurious house, not something that you're going to have this nice, beautiful everything. It's going to be the minimum building that you're going to have to do to get it. The more luxurious the house is, the more money it's going to cost and finishings, which will make that price that I just told you go up or down depending on who you're buying from. Yes, because quality materials is not just by the looks, but by the supplier as well. Yes, it's by the supplier as well. So it's like that. So yeah, 2 million, 2.5 estimatedly. I don't want nobody to go out and say, oh, AP said you can build for 2 million, 2.5 million 3-bedroom, because it happened before where I quote something and somebody go out and say, I say, no, I did not say for a fact, I guarantee 2 million, 2.5. I said estimatedly. Can be more, can be less, depending. All right, that's if you're going to do it all by yourself. Oh, let me watch this road there. Also, that also encompass if you have the lands. The thing is, when you are buying a house, you are also buying the land. So when you will buy a house for 5-6 million, the land can be 1 million, 1.5 million. So which is why the price on the housing can be a little bit more expensive. So this is another reason why you can possibly use that budget to build, because you already own your land. But if you don't own your land, you're going to have to factor in the cost of lands, clearing it, getting paperwork, all of that, permits, everything that you're going to need. You have to factor that inside there, and I did not factor those. So you have to keep that in mind, that you're going to have to factor all of the things that I did not say. Also, if the property that you're going to build is not, if the property that you're going to build is not within an area where there is electricity available, then you're going to have to consider installing solar. Now, how much is solar? The cost of solar is depending on the quality of solar power that you want to have on your house. What are you powering inside there? How many batteries? Depending on that. Also, the make of the battery is very important, you know. All of these things have to be thought about, and all of these things contribute towards the price of the house that you're going to actually have. Yes. So if you're buying the prime, the top quality things, those top quality things are going to cost you some money. Yes, it's not cheap, it's not free. You really cannot stop here, sir. You don't know that? Yeah, it's not going to be cheap and it's not going to be free. Yes. So all of these things are, you know, contributing towards that. So if you're building somewhere like, let's say, Bassery, where there's off the road, where there's no electricity for you to connect to the grid, you know, to use NOEC, you're going to have to install solar, right? And also, what are you going to use in your house? Are you using refrigerator? Are you running a iron? Are you running washing machine? Are you running sewing machine? What are the things that you're actually doing in your house? And you know, what is the wattage you're going to need to run that? All of that comes up to running your house. The last time I checked at one place to run a 3-bedroom house complete, but I did not add most of those appliances, it was 150 something thousand, 150 to 170 something thousand, the guy was telling me, just for solar installation. And that's not even the high-tech one, that's the low version of solar installation. So you know, solar is very, very, very expensive, yo. Extremely expensive. So this is another thing that you're going to have to think about. I'm going to buy something for Jody here and come back to continue the video. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so as I was saying, the cost for building, it depends on the square meter. You know, building is about measurements, right? Oh yeah, I stopped and buy some stuff for Jody just now. It's like that. So the building is depending on the square meters, you know. Yes, so how big do you want to make your house too? That have a lot to do with everything, because even the amount of blocks that you're going to use is depending on the square meters of the house, you know. Yes, so you calculate the square meters of the house in order to know exactly how much block you need to build it as well too. Yes, and the design the layout of the building is very important, you know. Yes, some people want some flashy buildings, and you know, some people want something that is simple, they can move in. You can build that for cheap. It depends on the finishings. It depends on the finishings and the square meter of the structure. Yes. So if you just want, like, you know, local ceiling, local lights, not local lights, but you know what I mean, lights like local people will use, regular lights, nothing flashy, you know, like tray lights and all that. I mean, recessed lights and tray ceilings, and you know, white ceiling, you call it tray ceilings. You know, if you just want normal ceiling, you know, normal roofing, nothing like what you're seeing in front of me now, then you can build for cheap if you can do it yourself. Look at this house there in front of us. You see, this one is a very small, nice house. Yeah, very nice house. Something like this you can build within the budget, possibly, based on what I am saying, you know. But the trick is, if you can do it yourself, you reduce the cost that you would have to spend to hire people. For example, hire a roofing man. How much money does it cost for a carpenter to come and put on a roof for you? Carpenter can charge anywhere from, it depends on the room, it depends on the house, I should say. Yes, but I would estimate and say expect to pay a carpenter anywhere from 80 to 150,000 possibly to do the work. Depends on who, depends on the quality of the carpenter. Quality meaning if he's good or not. Not all carpenters are good, you know. Some people will put your roof on and it really look bad. So, you know, the cheaper you go, the more problems you will have with your properties if you are not going to do it yourself. Yes, some people are fortunate to build their properties for cheap and don't have problems, but the reality is, if you build your property for cheap, you have a strong possibility of having lots of faults, because you're going to use people possibly who are inexperienced, you know. Experienced people are going to charge you. I'm sorry, they're not going to do nothing for free, for cheap. They're going to charge you because of the professional work that they are going to have to, you know, do. Thank you very much. The professional work team that they're going to have to hire, they have to pay them per day, you know. All of these things count. So that's why I said, in some cases, if you can get a BOQ, bill of quantity, on the property, and then you know how much material will cost, you know how much labor will cost. If you want, you can go and buy your material yourself and see if you can get them at a cheaper price. Yes, because sometimes negotiating labor costs, as I said to you before, it's not necessarily good at times. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes Africa is all about negotiations, huh? You can negotiate, no problem. But if you're building through a professional construction company, be mindful that that construction company is working for profit, not free. So they're going to charge something that will make them make profit. So if it costs $4 million to build a structure, let's say $5 million to build a structure, they might price you $8 million or something like that, you know, $8-9 million in order to cover other expenses and their markups. You understand? But if it is that you can do it yourself, you can build for cheap. You can build for cheap. And it depends on the material too. Right now, I was checking the price on interlock bricks in the Gambia. Interlock bricks, as far as I hear, is $30 to $35 per brick. Yes, and you are going to need a lot more interlock brick to build a 3-bedroom house. So let's say, for example, mathematics, my least favorite subject in school, but it should be my most favorite subject. Say 35 per bricks. You're going to need at least, let's say, example, 6,500 bricks. That's 227,000 for the bricks. 227,500. Yo. Yeah, sorry about that. I was getting a call. So yeah, I'm going back to the site as well to check. We're buying some sand as well, to stones, you name it. We're buying stuff, more stuff. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh my god. But just understand that, red brick. So 200 and something thousand, for example, I don't know, I'm just using an example and say that's the amount of bricks that you're going to need to build a red brick house. But it can be more, it can be less, I don't know. So it's like that versus blocks. The cost of building with blocks is cheaper versus the red brick, but the red brick have more health benefits to you. But there are other ways to build in Gambia, you know. You can use the red dirt. Red dirt is everywhere. Gambia is like 90% red dirt. So you can find red dirt everywhere, which is suitable for ramp earth. I would say most of all of Gambia's mineral deposit is good for ramp earth. And you know, different texture, different color will give you a nice overall look of the property when you finish it, if you know how to do ramp earth. But I don't know if Gambian can do ramp earth. You know, I don't know if they have the ability to do ramp earth here. But I know they do have the ability to make the red brick house. Yes, they have the ability to make the, not the red brick, I mean the dirt house. Yes. I'm getting a call. Yep, I'm getting a call from the contractor as well. He's not at the site, so I have to go back. I have to go back to turntable. La ilah. I have to go back to the turntable. He's not on the site. So it's like that. I'm going to meet him because we're buying some more materials on site, you know. So it's like that. Everything happened for a reason. Life is like that. You cannot complain about things when it happens. You have to just move forward, you know. Yeah. So, and then you have to, I think I said it in my one of my last video that I did, you must have patience. You must learn to have patience. If you don't have patience, you're going to definitely lose a lot of money. So you have to learn how to, you know, I'm seeing a lot of new wood here. You know, these people, they broke into our place and steal our wood. So now every time I see wood, I'm looking like, could this be our wood? We cannot know now. That's the thing. But anyways, God is good. Yeah. So when you're building, if you want to build for cheap, the real cost, you can really build a house for 2 million, 2.5. You can do that with no problem, especially if you have your land already. If you have your land already, you can do that, because if not, you're going to have to buy a land, and the land is going to cost you a lot more money, you know, or around that money. Around this Brufut area here, where I'm at now, closer to the city, lands here are going $2-3 million. That's what they're selling them for now. Down that side where the project is going on, the cheapest I know of a land there now is 850,000. One dad wanted to sell his land for that price. He wanted money to do his thing, so whatever. But that's his cheapest. The most expensive I know is 1.5 million, and it's a roadside land there. Yes. You see, so if you add 1.5 million to 2.5, how much are you now? You're at 4 million. And as I said, there is electricity in the area, but you may have to install solar. Yes, or you're going to have to buy poles, the NAWEC poles, and those poles are very expensive, and you're going to need a few of them to get the electricity to your house. So all of these things have to be considered. And I did mention solar installation can go up to 300,000-400,000. It depends on the type of installation that you want to be fully off the grid. Yes. So if you calculate all of these things in your head, you will know if you want to build cheap, it's best to have a land close in the city that is closer to NAWEC. That means you don't have to spend all of that money on solar, and it's best if you're doing simple finishings. That means you cut the finishing cost in half or more. And it's good if you can do some of the work yourself. That means you don't have to hire all of these people. Instead of hire a tiler, you can tile your tile yourself. Instead of hiring a painter, if you can paint, you paint yourself. If you can do your roof, you don't have to hire a carpenter, you do your own roof yourself, and that will cut the cost down. You will spend less than what I quoted you just now. Yeah. The only thing you're going to buy is the cement, the sand, make the blocks, have the boys lay the blocks up to lintel level. You do your own roof, you do your own tiling, you do your own window installation, but you have to pay to get that make. Unless you know metallic work as well, you can do your own windows, your own door, put your own glass and make it cheap. You can do that. Yeah, why not? If it's something that you know, you can do it. So it's like that, guys. If you can do these things yourself, you reduce the risk of the risk of your work being spoiled, or you don't have to consider anything because you know what you need to do to get the result. For example, my father, I grew up with him on construction site building multiple, I cannot count the amount of houses my father built. Too many houses. Yeah, I cannot count the amount of houses that my father built in Jamaica. Too much house. Yeah. And when he's ready to build his own house, he's the one that built his house, but he have some of his friends that come to help him, especially when he was not around. His friends, they will come and they will do the work for him, but he himself was doing it by himself with one small boy that he was training to lay blocks and do plastering and all that stuff. He was training the small boy to do it. Me, I was not having interest in it. Now I regret that, to be honest. I regret it. My mind was on music, which music is a big part of me, even though I don't do it as much now in Gambia, but it's a big part of me. So my father was training that boy how to lay blocks and do rendering and all that stuff, and he learned it very fast. And that boy used to be like his apprentice on site, and it just the two of them used to build the house that he was building. It took him years because of money, not because of him alone. If the money was there, he would finish that house in no time, but the money wasn't there, so he struggled to build it, but he was doing it. So that's why I said, if you are building, and it was a mansion there, if you are building by yourself and the material costs favor you, you can build for cheap. You can build for cheap. But if it is that you have to hire somebody, then you're going to have to pay them, and that is why your building cost is going to exceed what I quoted to build. Yes. You're going to exceed it then. Yeah, so I really hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope I get the point across that if you want to build for cheaper than what I said, you're going to have to learn how to mix concrete, lay blocks, do your own plastering yourself in order to maintain that low cost, because building in Gambia or Africa overall is very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. Do not think cheap. Cheapness is going to make you get spoiled work and people that you cannot find when you need them on site because they will never show up to your site. If you want to get things done, hire a professional contractor. It don't have to be the contractors that we know, can be somebody that you know or somebody that you heard of. There are lots of contractors in Gambia. You can shop around and see which one you want if you have the time to do that. Or you could just hire a project manager and the project manager will do that for you. Find the best contractor, negotiate rates and all these things, and then you decide if you want to go forward with that or not. So as I said, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you guys so much as usual for tuning in. I love you guys. They're driving on this road here. It's very dangerous. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in for every upload. We're on it. Next I will go to the site. I have a surprise for you guys. I will show you. We have to take matters into our own hands and try to get this project complete, because all of this delay and stealing on site is not good. So we have to take another strategy to get things done, because we want this project to finish so we can expand ourselves to other projects. But if you have a project that you want us to assist you with in the Gambia, reach out, let us know. We are here to help you. Boy, we are here to help you get things done. Okay, until the next video guys, stay safe, love you. See you.
Although the battle well hard, they not giving up. Don't ever fight me non-stop, ain't no giving up. Man, have to stand up well tall and live it up. When them things say me small, when me big enough.